Hello, dear friends. Now I will try to explain few things about the calculus, that is another very important and new branch of mathematics. Usually this is not supposed to explain or discuss in bridge courses, because you will study this calculus in detail in your first year and second PUC courses, but this will be useful in other, especially in physics and some competitive exams, suppose say KVPY. Okay, and that's why this time I considered to discuss few things about differentiation and integration. Okay, please try to understand. As usual, any doubt if you find, please let me know by sending or texting the messages. Okay, I have given my number last class only. See, this calculus is a mathematical tool which measures the rate of change in an activity. Rate of change. More especially, it measures the rate of change in a dependent variable as a result of infinitely small change in independent variable. See here, suppose y is equal to 2x plus 3 is a function. Here, as x changes its values, y get changes. X is independent, whereas y is dependent. It depends on the values of x. So y is dependent variable, x is independent variable. When a very small, minute change or negligibly small change occurs in independent variable, the corresponding change in the dependent variable y. Okay, then to finding the rate of change, at which rate it is going to change. That is the intention of the differentiation. The basic tools of calculus are differentiation and integration. Differentiation is used to determine the rate of change of a given function, and integration is used to find the function when its rate of change is given. The infinitely small changes in independent and dependent variables are explained using the concepts of limits and continuity. Let us discuss about that. This is very basic concept and important concept. Okay, I will try to explain. Suppose y is equal to 2x plus 1 or fx is equal to 2x plus 1. Now, if x is equal to 2, what is the value of the function? 2 into 2 plus 1, 5. But let us put very nearer, close values to 2 and check whether that holds or not. Okay, suppose this limit means this is not the exact value. The variable values are said to approach very close or tends to some particular value, but not exactly equal to that value. Then corresponding the value in the function fx, that is dependent variable, that is the limiting value. Okay, this function, when fx is equal to 2x plus 1, the function approaches to the value 5 as x approaches to 2. This may be verified in two ways. Okay, let us consider. Don't worry, you are going to discuss these things in detail in this year only, first PC only. Okay, but I want to just glance the points and I want to give some results of differentiation. Suppose the values are less than 2. Here, suppose here is a 2. Let us put x is equal to 1.99. This is less than 2. 1.99 is less than 2. So, this is to the left side of, and suppose I increase this by 0.001, then 1.99. See, when x is 1.99, then 2x plus 1 will be 4.98. When x is 1.999, 2x plus 1 is 4.998. When x is 1.999, one more 9, then 2x plus 1 is 4.998. Okay, that means as x increases, this is more than this, isn't it? So as x increases, the value of fx will become more closer. See here, 4.98 is for distance to 5 from this one. See which is nearer. This 4.9998 is more close to 5 than 4.98, isn't it? See, as you increase the x values, this will become more close to 5 functional value, isn't it? That means as x increases from 1.99 to 2, but not exactly is equal to 2. You can find infinitely in between 1.9 and 2. There are infinite number of values are there. If you zoom that, you will get the infinite parts of this. Okay. Similarly, as x increases from left side, it will increases, fx will increases and become more close to 5. Similarly, that means here direction is supposed towards this, then fx is more close to 5. If you take x is equal to greater than 2 values, suppose 2.01, 2.001, 2.001, that means you are decreasing. This side means you are decreasing. See, 2 to 2.01, suppose there are so many values, you consider when it approaches to 2, the fx will approaches to 5. That means, see here, for the different values of x's, as it increases, it become more closer to 5. That means either from this left side or from right side, this is said to approach the value of 5. fx will take the value 5. This is 5 is called as this limiting value of the function. When these two are equal, the limit is set to x2. This side is called as left hand limit, this is right hand limit. In general, suppose at a is a minus delta, you have to consider two values. Instead of saying exactly 1, suppose 0.5, my 0.5 to 1.5. So, similarly, a minus delta, a plus delta. So, in between this, a is there. As it increases, the fx value will be more closer to L. Similarly, as it decreases, fx value will be more closer to L. That is, this is the definition of limit of a function. Here, left hand limit and right hand limits. Left hand limit means, see here, limit of a function x tends to a minus of fx. That means it tends to L, fx tends to L through the lesser values of a from left side of the function. See, limit x tends to a plus is equal to fx is again L. This is right hand limit. That means fx approaches to L through the larger values of a from right side. It approaches to L. Okay, this is the concept of limit. Okay, let us find the limits of these functions. See here, limit means, see here, exactly the same value, slight difference, not considerable. See here, if you limit, this is written as limit x tends to 3, more closer to 3, then you have to find the value of this function. Okay, at x is equal to 3, suppose we take x is equal to 3, what happens? 2 square, x square is 3 square minus 9 divided by x 3 minus 3, that is 3 minus 3, or this is 0 divided by 0. What is the value of 0 divided by 0? 0 by 0 is not 1, remember. If you allow this as 0 by 0 is equal to 1, your total number system will collapse. Okay, because 2 into 0 is 0 is equal to 3 into 0. See, is it possible? Then what happens if you allow this as 0? 2 is equal to 3 into 0 by 0, or this is 2 is equal to 3. So 0 by 0 is indeterminate. 0 by 0 is indeterminate. Here your algebra fails to give the answer, give the solution. So we need analysis. I told you in the first class only, where the arithmetic and algebra fails, we need to go search for some other advanced methods, that is analysis. Here x square minus 9 by x minus 3. See, limit extends to 3, not exactly equal to 3. If it is exactly equal to 3, we can't divide. So what is x square minus 3? X square minus 3 square, x minus 3 into x plus 3. Okay, divided by x minus 3. So that get cancelled. You can cancel only because this x tends to 3. If it is x is equal to 3, you can't cancel because again 0 by 0 form. So with this concept, you can cancel these two terms. Okay. Now you can take the value of x is equal to 3, that is 3 plus 3. See, the limiting value of this function is 6. You got it? What happens? See, in the second one, limit of x square plus 2x plus 1 as x tends to 1. Here at x is equal to 1, what happens? 1 square plus 2 into 1 plus 1, or this is 4. If it is not a indeterminate form, then you will directly substitute the value at x is equal to a or x is equal to 1 and get the answer. That itself is the answer. But if it leads to indeterminate form, then you have to use the further analysis. You have to apply further analysis. What happens here? At x is equal to minus 2. At x is equal to minus 2, what happens? This is 2 square is 4, minus 2 square is 4, plus 5 into minus 2 plus 6 divided by minus 2 square 4 minus 4. Again this is 0 by 0 form. See, 0 by 0 form, infinity minus infinity, 1 raised to infinity and infinity raised to 0. These are all considered as indeterminate sum. 8 forms are there. So 0 by 0 form. So you need further analysis here. Therefore, limit taking limit as extends to minus 2. That is, if you factorize this, x plus 3 x plus 2 divided by x minus 2 into x plus 2 get cancelled. So x plus 3 divided by x minus 2 as x tends to minus 2. At x tends to minus 2, this will be minus 2 plus 3 divided by minus 2, that is 1 by minus 4 or minus 1 by 4 is the answer. You got it? Now there are many results are also there. Let us discuss in the regular classes in detail. Okay. So this is the basic idea of limits. So I told you the limit of a function may approaches to a constant value through the left side of the values of the independent variable or from right side of the values of the independent variable, isn't it? A limit of a function is said to exist when left hand limit and right hand limits are equal. That is the condition. If left hand limit and right hand limit are not same, then limit does not exist. Okay. Next concept is continuity. For a continuity condition, for the function fx is said to be continuous if left hand limit of the function and right hand limit of the function are same, and that is same as the f of a value. Suppose x is equal to a. See, a function fx is said to be continuous at a when limit of x tends to a is equal of fx is equal to f of a. Limit x tends to a of fx is equal to fa, or left hand limit. See, this is the notation. A x tends to a minus. A minus means slightly less than a. Left hand limit x tends to a plus slightly greater value fx, that is equal to f function of fx at x is equal to a. Function fx at x is equal to a. Left hand limit and right hand limit is equal to functional value at a. You got it? Is it okay? Okay. Let us consider one simple example. Suppose the function fx is defined as x square minus 9 divided by x minus 3 and x is not equal to 3. Show that fx is discontinuous. When x is not equal to 3 means x may be more than 3 or less than 3. When exactly it is x is equal to 3, the functional value is 9, that is given. So you have to prove this is discontinuous. By drawing the graphs you can prove that, but I will follow the algebraic method. Not equal to 3, that is left hand limit is equal to limit of x tends to 3 minus lesser values of 3 of x square minus 9 divided by x minus 3. fx is this much when it is not equal to 3. That is limit x tends to 3 of x minus 3 x plus 3 divided by x minus 3. Now as it is limit not exactly equal to 3, this get cancelled and limit of x plus 3 3 minus. Now this is equal to 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. Now put x is equal to 3 there. Right hand limit is limit of x tends to 3 plus x square minus 9 x minus 3 is equal to limit x tends to 3 plus of x minus 3 x plus 3 divided by, again this get cancelled and this is 3 plus 3 again, that is 6. Here left hand limit and right hand limits are equal, isn't it? So limit is exists, but f of x is equal to f of 3 when x is exactly is equal to 3, that is given, you need not calculate, substituting here, that is 9. But left hand limit, right hand limits are same, but those two are not equal to 9, those two are 6. Here left hand limit, not left hand side, left hand limit and right hand limit are same, but that is not equal to f of 3. That means left hand limit and right hand limit are same, means limit exists, but the function is not continuous at x is equal to 3. At the point 3 it is not continuous, there will be a break in the graph. Okay, consider one more example. Suppose the function is given by x square minus 4x plus 3 divided by x minus 1 when x is not equal to 1. It may be more than 1 or less than 1. When x is equal to exactly 1, the functional value is minus 2. You are asked to check the continuity of the function, at x is equal to 1. Okay, left hand limit is limit x tends to 1 minus lesser values of 1 minus 1. See, this is when it is not equal to 1, the function is x square minus 4x plus 3 divided by x minus 1. That is limit x tends to x minus 4 means x minus 3 x minus 1 divided by x minus 1, that is equal to limit of x tends to 1 minus x minus 3 by 1 it is, that is minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4. Right hand limit is limit x tends to 1 plus x square minus 4x plus 3 divided by x minus, that is limit of x tends to 1 plus x minus 3 x plus x minus 1 divided by x minus 1, that get cancelled, is equal to limit x tends to x minus 3 is equal to Again, what is this? So this is -2, sorry. When x is 1, this is not 4, that is -2. Here also 1 minus 3 is -2 again. Next, f of 1 is equal to -2. See here, left hand limit is equal to right hand limit, both are same, is equal to -2. That is also same as f of 1. F of 1 is also -2. Therefore, fx is continuous at x is equal to 1. Okay. Show that fx is equal to x square is continuous at x is equal to a. Okay. Here see, left hand limit is equal to limit of x tends to a minus of fx. Okay, a minus means you can write like this also, limit instead of writing a minus h can be written, where h is very small quantity. Okay, then replace this a minus h by x square, that is f of a minus h. X is replaced by, where h is very small, h tends to 0 means x is negligibly very small quantity. This is equal to limit of h tends to 0 of, what is f of x? F of x is x square, f of a minus h is a minus h whole square. Limit of h tends to 0 of a square plus h square minus 2ah. Okay, a minus b whole square, that is equal to a square plus h square is 0, h tends to 0 is 0, minus 2 into 0, 2a into 0, totally these two terms are 0, so the value will be a square. Similarly, right hand limit is equal to limit of x tends to a plus of fx is equal to limit h tends to 0 of f of a plus h is equal to limit h tends to 0 of a plus h whole squared. You got it? That is limit h tends to 0 of a squared plus h square plus 2ah. As h tends to 0, this will become a square plus 0 or simply a square. F of x is equal to x square implies f of a is a square. See here, left hand limit, right hand limit and functional value at x is equal to a. So, left hand limit is equal to right hand limit, limit exists, is equal to f of a. All are same. Therefore, f is continuous function. F is continuous. See, why I am telling these things is, for a function to exist, it should for a derivative of a function to exist, it should be continuous. Okay, so for continuous you should check whether it is the limit exists or not. So limits and continuity are the basic point for the differentiation.